Good morning, May 18th. Oh my goodness, I gotta get the laptop back to the library. And May 18th, 2 days before my conception day. Wow, yeah. 1961, my parents got married. So I want to do this segment and as a melanin man, biological living light, fighting in this societal structure with a calcified pineal gland, dry vision. I, as Melanin Man with liquid moisture in my first eye, see things a little bit differently, and no one has put this type of information out there previously. So here in the intellectual Mecca of the world, Harvard, MIT, genetic engineering, biotech, Novartis, blah, blah, blah. And then the images we grow up with as a media person, I wish to put this out there. Before I got to return this laptop, and then I got a doctor's appointment at 11:30, and I got class with Master Heeds tonight to help develop my spirituality. But as a black man revering the black woman, look at how, genetic engineering in America and with the value structure, and now not only looking at the women's butts. Here, let me show you this particular picture real quick too, just so that you understand where I'm coming from as Melanin Man. This is the media that we've ingested. What the black woman is genetically inferior. She's the genetically inferior one, but yet they mock the black woman's butt. And so looking at the original, wait a minute, melanin dominant, biological living light, that's a fact. My skin is my solar panel. And I inbred and created a melanin recessive, inbred mutant albino with a calcified pineal gland dry eye. So is the white woman in the middle wearing a dress to emulate the black woman? But, and you see the sister, that is all 100% natural. So it's like, who am I in this particular environment? And here, I gotta try to show you this particular picture too. But as I read on the train, donate your stool, we have the sperm bank, are you depressed, this, that, and the other thing. It's like, what is happening here in the intellectual Mecca of the world? What kind of brainwash? I mean, we got Noam Chomsky over there with propaganda and control of the public mind. But here, so with the mutated butt, I mean, what I say, melanin recessive. So that means the largest muscle in the body, the gluteus maximus, make sure all the shades and all the shapes are getting in there, is sucked in. What? The mutant, I mean, that's a fact. And I'm considered genetically inferior? For 400 years. I mean, from caveman and all of the calcified pineal gland fight a war? Why am I going to fight a war for what value? I value my mind and my behind. Can we see that? There's the wide load, the hot tamale, the bumper, the Amazon cottage cheese. Is it coming in? The cottage cheese, wide load. Oh my goodness. But as biological living light, 5 minutes in, just getting ready to go into 6 minutes in, 5 is what? A right angle above half a circle. And so, as a divine energy, if understanding the original people's message in designing these particular edifice, and they're gonna stack more niggas on top of niggas at the end of my street. That's what provoked a lot of this. So that my neighbors know and understand they live next to God. And that's how I view myself. Understanding, wait a minute, there's a square at the base of a pyramid. That's 4 90-degree right angles. Wait a minute, a right angle? Is there a wrong angle? But at the right angle, 90 degrees, that's the full sphere at the top of the stem. How are the digits drawn? I, 1, and then, wait a minute, what is a 10? A 10 is a 1 with the full sphere next to it, but that full sphere next to it is one line with no beginning and no end, and it's considered a 0. So I'm all and nothing at the same time as a divine mind. 7 minutes in, I get beyond death and killing and murder and move into a right angle at the top of the stem, a 7, just before the 8. What is the 8? The DNA? The emojis? Are you connecting your substantial to your insubstantial? How's that 2 drawn? You see just the substantial side. But if you were to put the converse to a drawn 2, it would look like a heart on a straight line. Is your heart on a straight line? Are you straight with your motherfucking self? Or do you just, oh yes, I need to go to work on the plantation for Masta, do my Laverne and Shirley. Hey George, gosh darn Genetically. 8 minutes in, Melanin Man dealing with the intellectual Mecca of the world. And understanding the ancestral messages. 909. When I just talk about the full sphere at the top of the stem and being that 0 or one line with no beginning and no end, so I am already infinite. If I can understand being this one line and get my mind around the full aspects of who I am in substantial and insubstantial, yin and yang, balancing the energies. Oh, the moisture in my first eye. Oh, it's water. H2O. Always balanced to the surface of the earth. A heart on a straight line. Are you balanced to the surface of the earth in your head? Or are you stuck on fucking stupid? You have potential. As I was showing, actually, can I throw that up here again? I'm talking about trying to reestablish the Niagara movement. Black man who lived around the corner from my house. Was that Garrett Morgan? The three dudes, W.E.B. Du Bois, Garrett Morgan, and William Lewis, working on the Niagara movement to be like water that goes over the falls. And they were opposed to the W.E.B. Du Bois. Du Bois was opposed to Booker T. Washington, the assimilationalists. Should I try to assimilate with the value structure of my child? Here, what's this say? In every Negro, there's a potential black man. And I'm pulling off my Negro skin. Is that okay? 11 minutes in, understanding the parallel lines of who I am. Do I need somebody's approval or permission? No, you're a nigga. You can't do that shit. The fuck you mean you think you God? Let's bust a cap in his ass. So, that might happen, but the point is, are we as biological living light, I as a black man, 2 days before my conception day, in 61, Mommy and Daddy Nana ran away from picking cotton. Saw the Shango. I'm sorry, Sankofa. Haile Jarima's movie. He talked about Sinkyu's character running up to walking up to what's that black man's name? I can't. He said, I don't speak that. So I gotta look at it. I don't speak that in Amistad. Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman. I'm sorry, I don't speak that. Am I pulling off my Negro skin and speaking that? Have I entered into my roots and understand my balance, knowing that there is the conspiracy to milk the deadly poison? White Jewish man talks about how 19 of 20 black kids that eat cheese and pizza would be affected, as opposed to 1 out of 20 if they were to eat cheese and pizza at a party. So have I delved far enough, deep enough into understanding the balancing energy of my roots, in understanding the melanin recessive inbred mutant albino with the calcified pineal gland value structure that we've been living under for the past 400 years? So, is there a Hollywood shuffle? Is the media being jerked or jerking us? Propaganda and control the public mind? Now, I have to try to upload this with the Wi-Fi from the... Thank you for tuning in. I've been your host, BrotherRA, and that's all I had to say today. Upload this and try to go to the doctor point. Bye.